My name is Guadalupe Razo Diaz. I am a modern languages and literature major with a concentration in Spanish and French. And today I'm going to be talking about who I am and how being a first-generation college student fits into that narrative. So let's get started. I am first and foremost an immigrant, and the reason why I want to start there is because being an immigrant is tied into my first-generation narrative. My family moved here when I was about 5 years old. We came to this country because my parents wanted me to get a better education. And so my parents, at 19 and 20 years old, left their country with their 2 children. And, well, here we are. Being a first-generation college student is hard, especially because I felt like for my entire time in America, my whole life was leading up to this moment. Obviously, I felt this pressure that I put on myself mostly because I felt like I owed it to my parents, and I owed it to my family, and I owed it to everyone that we left back home. So I put on this pressure on myself, and I made it so that I knew exactly what I needed to get into a good college by the time that I was a freshman, before freshman year in fact. I had a college plan, I had my life set out, but I didn't know what to do after this, so that was really stressful for me. On top of that, I had to deal with the realities that come with being an immigrant and a college applicant. For example, when I was applying for colleges, I applied to around 30 of them because I knew that I wasn't going to get a good financial aid offer from the large majority of them. Even though I had made myself perfect on paper, because I was undocumented, I didn't have access to federal grants, and that kind of sucked because I was watching people who fooled around in class all of high school, who did nothing with their lives, get so much more financial aid money just because they were US citizens. And then came my freshman year of college when Trump wanted to take away DACA, and I really got depressed around that time because one of the many reasons why I wanted to go to college was so that I could go back home to Mexico through school. I was gonna take a gap year or study abroad. I had so many plans, but when Trump took away DACA, he took away that part and it was never reinstated. And so when he took that, he took my one chance, my one for sure chance to go back home. And then on top of that, I realized that if I didn't have DACA, I wouldn't be able to practice my degree in America. And that really got to me. So I guess I became who I am because I learned that I needed to have my own personal drive in order to get somewhere in my life. I had a lot of support through college prep programs growing up, but once I got here, I was all on my own. And so I felt a little lost. I didn't have any adults, I didn't have any friends here, I didn't know what to do. So I sought out an advisor through my scholarship, and he kind of became the person that helped put me on the right track. His name is Herbert Medina. He no longer is affiliated with the school because he's in the University of Portland doing great things for undocumented students. But I think seeking out an advisor was probably the best thing that I could have done, the best thing that I did for myself this far. And who I want to become, I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping that I can be a humanitarian. That's my #1 goal. I haven't really shared this with a lot of people, but my dream is to start my own nonprofit organization that helps get education in countries where there's war, where there's horrible things happening, because I realize that I have this amazing privilege, and education is an amazing thing, and there are children who have to live their entire childhoods through war, and then what? What happens when the war is over? What happens when there's no longer conflict and they can get educated, but they're already 20 years old and haven't been to school since the 1st grade, you know? So that's what I'm hoping to be. And I know that because LMU is affiliated with a lot of taking a year off and doing service type thing, I'm hoping to do that. But we'll see. it's just a dream. I'm hoping to make it a reality. And I guess my advice for first generation students is look for your advocate. Like I said, the best thing that happened to me when I was lost was finding that advisor. Herbert Medina did a lot for me. And now now that he's gone, I had to look for others. And I found a lot of people. I found the adults on this campus that I can go to talk about my academic concerns, my educational problems. And I haven't felt this secure in a really long time. So that's my number one advice. My other would be to make sure that you're talking to your professors, because they're a lot more understanding than we perceive them to be. If you need that extension, if you need that extra help, just ask them and they'll get it for you. So yeah, thank you.